Dear friends, in the last class, we understood by referring blocked credit concept, section 17, subsection 5, clause A and clause AA, we understood. Where we referred by saying that motor vehicle meant for transportation of passengers, seating capacity not exceed 13 numbers including driver, not qualify as capital goods. However, these vehicles are capital goods if you use for further supply or transportation of passenger or imparting motor driving skills. For them, these motor vehicles qualify for input tax credit. And also we referred vessels, aircraft meant for transportation of passengers also qualify for capital goods only for few. As such, not qualify for input tax credit. As I referred in the last class, passenger aircraft as well as passenger vessel not qualify for ITC in general to all. However, for few of them it is qualified for ITC. Who are they? There remains on the screen. Further supply, taxable supply, if you use the vessel or aircraft, or if it is meant for transportation of passengers, or the vessel or aircraft where the aircraft is considered for imparting flying skills, or vessel is considered for imparting the navigating skills, qualify for ITC. For them it is ITC. For others it is not so. Up to this in the last class we discussed, my dear sir. Now I am presenting further section 17.5 clause AB. Now reading as follows. Look on the screen. Clause AB, referring to here, clause AB. Clause AB. Services of general insurance, servicing, repairs and maintenance in so far as they relate to motor vehicle, or as they are so far in relation to vessel or aircraft referred to in clause A, clause AA. In that case, my dear sir, that input service of general insurance, input service of servicing, input service of repairs and maintenance also not qualify for ITC. Reason, these motor vehicles, these vessels, aircrafts, since not qualify as capital goods for the buyer of that goods, that particular capital goods, the input services in relation to those vehicles, vessel, aircraft, in relation to general insurance, in relation to servicing, in relation to repairs and maintenance, with regard to these vehicles, vessel, aircraft, ITC not allowed. Since not capital goods, service thereon also not qualify for ITC. I understand your difficulty to catch this point. No problem. I am going to now explain to you with the help of illustrative examples. Now look on the screen, please. If you refer, my dear sir, look on the screen. First I mentioned to you vehicles, motor vehicles meant for transportation of passenger vehicle. This and all transportation of passenger vehicle. Motor vehicle meant for transportation of passengers. Vessel meant for transportation of passengers. Aircraft meant for transportation of passengers. Now you tell me, these motor vehicles, vessel, aircraft purchased by Rafi Academy, for example, my dear, is qualified for ITC? No, because we are not qualified to claim ITC on this. Now, as you are aware of that, motor vehicles referred under section 17(5), class A, ITC not allowed. Class AA, vessel and aircraft, class AA. Now, these motor vehicles, vessel, aircraft, since not qualify for ITC, not qualify for input tax credit, not qualify. These are not capital goods for us to claim ITC. If so, in that case, my dear sir, in that case, if there is a case, general insurance for the motor vehicles, general insurance for the vessel, general insurance for aircraft also be not qualified for ITC. It is called capital goods. What is there on the screen? Now I am bringing to you general insurance. Now you take into account the concept of general insurance. General insurance followed by servicing and followed by repairs and maintenance. These three, general insurance, servicing and repair and maintenance, in relation to motor vehicles or vessel aircraft, which is not capital goods, not qualified for ITC. If these and all, general insurance for motor vehicle, also not qualify as input tax credit. Why not allowed, a question mark? Because it is relating to motor vehicle, which is not my capital goods. Therefore, this input service also not qualify for ITC. This particular input services, this nature of input services, namely general insurance nature, servicing nature, repairs and maintenance nature, as far as it is relating to motor vehicle, vessel, aircraft, since not qualify for as capital goods, also not qualify as input service. Then, general insurance, servicing, repairs and maintenance, in relation to motor vehicle, whether qualify to anyone as input service? Yes. That is called exception. I will put like that simple manner, my dear sir. Rafi Academy purchased 10 air-conditioned machines using in the classroom. Rafi Academy, a taxable person, using in classroom 10 air-conditioned machines. Assume a scenario. The 10 air-conditioned machines cost almost all 5 lakh rupees. Rafi Academy taken the policy, general insurance of this particular 10 air-conditioned machines from National Insurance Company by making the payment of premium of rupees, let us say 10,000 rupees. Now you tell me, general insurance premium paid by Rafi Academy to cover the loss of our 10 air-conditioned machines. On such premium, GST charged by the insurance company can qualify for ITC to Rafi Academy? Yes or no? Yes, allowed as input tax credit, because the Rafi Academy is eligible to avail the ITC on such machines as their capital goods. However, Rafi Academy purchased the motor vehicle meant for transport of passengers, which is carrying capacity not exceeding 13, which is not capital goods for Rafi Academy. For that particular motor vehicle, if the Rafi Academy paid the general insurance premium to National Insurance Company, that premium on which GST not qualify as input tax credit. Now got the clarity, my dear sir? Yes. Further, then for whom general insurance, for whom servicing, for whom the repairs and maintenance in relation to the motor vehicle, vessel, aircraft will qualify for ITC means if the person, a taxable person who purchased the motor vehicle eligible to claim ITC, a person who purchased the vessel eligible to claim ITC, a person who purchased passenger aircraft if eligible to claim ITC, then for that person the general insurance thereon, the servicing thereon, repairs and maintenance thereon will also qualify for ITC. Got the clarity, my dear sir? Who are they? If I purchase the motor vehicles for further supply of taxable supply of such motor vehicle, or transportation of passengers, or transportation of passengers, or the imparting motor driving skills, for them motor vehicle qualify for capital goods. If they paid the general insurance company premium to cover general insurance of this motor vehicle, they are eligible to claim ITC. As I told you in the last class, Maruti Driving School purchased the motor vehicles and eligible to claim ITC. If so, on such motor vehicle, Maruti Driving School paid the premium, namely general insurance premium, eligible to claim ITC. Got the clarity, my dear sir? Further, exceptions. These motor vehicles or vessels or aircraft, if a person is a manufacturer, I am the manufacturer of motor vehicles. If that is the case, in that case, such a manufacturer of motor vehicle, such a manufacturer of vessel, such a manufacturer of aircraft, for them, if they paid the general insurance to that, they are eligible to claim ITC. I will tell you with the help of the visualization now. Now look on the screen, my dear sir. They are the manufacturers here. Manufacturer of motor vehicles. If you look here, they are the manufacturers of motor vehicles. Hyundai, Honda, Toyota, and so on and so forth. They are the manufacturers. Of motor vehicles. Seating capacity does not exceed 13, absolutely, including driver. If they are producing finished products, namely motor vehicles, these are all motor vehicles. Now, Hyundai, the Honda, Toyota, all of them are the manufacturers of motor vehicles. If these manufacturers of motor vehicles taken general insurance for their motor vehicles, are they eligible to claim ITC or not? We have exception here under section 17 subsection 5 class AB. In that I am going to read now after explaining this provision to you, my dear friends. After explaining this, I will refer to you that content. So that is what I am explaining here. So manufacturer of motor vehicle taken the insurance premium from insurance coverage of their loss of stock, premium paid to National Insurance Company, for example. Now look on the screen. Manufacturer of motor vehicle paid the premium to National Insurance Company here, premium paid by them. Now, such a premium is an input service for the manufacturer of motor vehicles because they paid the loss of stock of their vehicles, motor vehicles. Their motor vehicles insurance premium qualify for ITC? Yes, you have to say that they are eligible to claim ITC. General insurance premium allowed as ITC to manufacturer of motor vehicles. Got the clarity, my dear? Now further, likewise, manufacturer of vessel, manufacturer aircraft, if they covered for the loss of stock of the vessel aircraft, insurance premium paid for that obviously qualify to claim ITC. Further, referring to here, I told you exceptions. What exception I am referring here? General insurance premium, servicing, repairs and maintenance in relation to motor vehicle, vessel, aircraft. Generally not qualify for input tax credit for those for whom it is not capital goods. However, exceptions. If these motor vehicles, vessel, aircraft is for us eligible to claim ITC, then general insurance thereon, servicing thereon, repairs and maintenance thereon qualify for ITC. This is what I am presenting here. So, in this process, if I use this particular motor vehicles, vessel, aircraft for further supply of taxable supply or transportation of passengers or imparting motor driving skills, navigating skills, flying skills, as the case may be, then qualify for ITC. In this process, I am presenting furthermore manufacturer of motor vehicles, vessels, aircraft. For them, if they undertaken the general insurance premium, servicing and repairs and maintenance, there is qualified as input service to avail the ITC. And third category exception for whom these three insurance, servicing, repairs and maintenance qualify for ITC means third category is there. They are none other than one insurance company which given the insurance coverage for the motor vehicles, vessel, aircraft undergoing for reinsurance. In that case, such a reinsurance premium is qualified as input tax credit for the first insurance company. How to understand this? Don't worry at all. I am presenting here third category exception. For example, look on the screen please. Same manner. Look on the screen. Now here there are two insurance companies. Insurance company 1, National Insurance Company. I will put here mark as 1. National Insurance Company 1. Here I will put the mark as 2. United India Insurance Limited, Company Limited. Now, this National Insurance Company collect the premium where National Insurance Company is a provider of service, manufacturer of motor vehicle, recipient of service. Is clear, sir? Now, National Insurance Company assume if they are undergoing huge risk to cover the loss of stock of the motor vehicles, In that case, this insurance company, National Insurance Company, to dilute the risk premium, they are paying the premium to cover the risk, to dilute the risk. Premium paid by whom to whom? National Insurance Company, to dilute their risk. They are undergoing the reinsurance with United India Insurance Company. In that case, we called as reinsurance premium. We also called as reinsurance premium. Now here, United India Insurance Company providing the loss of stock of these motor vehicles of the manufacturer. For example, I am telling you, where United India Insurance not directly provide the loss of stock of this particular motor vehicle, but it is provide services to National Insurance Company. National Insurance Company in turn provide the services to manufacturer of motor vehicles or manufacturer of vessel aircraft. In that case, such reinsurance premium paid by the first general insurance company, for them is an input service. Are they eligible to claim ITC? Yes. The law of the land here says that they are eligible to claim ITC. National Insurance Company is eligible to claim ITC. ITC allowed. Which one ITC allowed? This premium paid qualify for ITC. For a general insurance company which is giving the coverage of loss of stock of the motor vehicle, vessel or aircraft, even though it is not capital goods for the general insurance company of National Insurance Company here, they are undergoing for reinsurance to cover the loss of stock of the motor vehicle, vessel, aircraft. That is the reason the National Insurance Company is eligible to claim ITC on reinsurance premium. If National Insurance Company, they themselves purchase the motor vehicle, they are not eligible to claim ITC. Got the clarity, sir? Understand. Exceptions. Now repeating. What I explained to you, now repeating in a simplified terminology is as follows, for your kind consideration. Now listen, sir. I refer to you like this. General insurance premium, servicing, repairs and maintenance. So far relating to motor vehicle, vessel, aircraft, not qualify for ITC as ITC. Reason, I told you, the vehicle, vessel, aircraft, since not qualify as capital goods, insurance thereon, servicing thereon, repairs and maintenance thereon, also not qualify for input tax credit. Is it clear? However, this insurance, namely general insurance, as well as the servicing, as well as repairs and maintenance, these three qualify for ITC, which is exceptional cases. For whom qualify for ITC means, if I purchase the motor vehicle, vessel, aircraft, for me it is qualified as capital goods, yes, then insurance thereon, servicing thereon, as well as repairs and maintenance thereon qualify for ITC. Second category, manufacture of motor vehicle. Manufacture of motor vehicles, manufacture of vessels, manufacture of aircraft. For them, if they cover the insurance premium for their vehicles, vessel, aircraft, for them ITC is allowed. Or otherwise, general insurance company which is given the insurance coverage for the loss of stock of the vehicle, vessel, aircraft, undergoing for reinsurance with the another general insurance company, and paid the premium to another insurance company from that general insurance company premium with the GST will qualify for ITC. In the given example, I said National Insurance Company paid the premium to Unity India Insurance Company. That input service for National Insurance Company qualify for ITC. Got the clarity, sir? Now, my dear sir, just now we referred section 17, subsection 5, class AB. This fully we understood, including its exceptions, where it is qualified for ITC for a manufacturer of motor vehicles, or otherwise if used for further supply of the above nature exceptions like this 3 ABC, or like this ABCD. For them, the input service of general insurance, servicing, repairs and maintenance qualify for ITC. And also we referred here further, just now I referred to you, the general insurance in respect of motor vehicle or aircraft insured by him one insurance company with another insurance company. That points just now we referred elaboratively. Is clear, my dear? Further referring to you, section 17, subsection 5, clause B, which also refers here in your same page, page number 70, block credit, referring to here one by one as follows. 17.5 clause B, referring to you this with amended provisions. Entire story, food and beverages, outdoor catering, beauty treatment, health services, cosmetic, plastic surgery services, leasing, renting, hiring of motor vehicles, vessel or aircraft, referred to in class A of section 17, subsection 5 of CGST, except where used for the purpose specified therein. Life insurance services, health insurance services are generally not qualified for ITC. I will explain to you, don't worry at all. These points I just referred to you as a theory which I need to elaborate. Section 17, subsection 5, clause B says that CGST Act says that ITC not allowed in the following cases. What are they? They are as follows. Look on the screen. Look on the screen. Is visible to all of you? These are all points I referred to you here. ITC not allowed cases, my dear. What are they? They are one by one. Food and beverages. Food and beverages not qualify for ITC. ITC not allowed. Very clearly he has stated that ITC not allowed for the given case. Food and beverages. For example, Infosys company provided food and beverages to their employees. Not qualified for ITC. That is not input service. Further, outdoor catering services. Rafi Academy invited parents meeting where Rafi Academy provided outdoor catering services by getting services from others. That is not qualified for ITC. Further, beauty treatment services. Is a beauty treatment services obviously not qualified for ITC. Beauty treatment not qualified for ITC. ITC not allowed. Got the clarity, my dear sir? Further, ITC not allowed in the case of health and health professional services, if we received, healthcare services received, not qualify for ITC. Healthcare is generally exempted. There are some healthcare services, if it is taxed, that is not qualify as input service for the recipient. Further, plastic and cosmetic surgery services. You see here, this particular area is undergone for plastic surgery, where the plastic surgery is taxable. If we received such a plastic services, being a taxable person, by payment of GST, not qualify for ITC. Further, life insurance services, not qualify for ITC. Further, health insurance, life insurance as well as health insurance, obviously not qualify for ITC. These and all disqualified to claim ITC. If you refer on the screen, I will refer to you one by one for your kind consideration. What are they? 1. Food and beverages, not qualify for ITC. Outdoor catering services, not qualify for ITC. Beauty treatment services, obviously not qualify for ITC. Health services, health related services, not qualify for ITC. Plastic surgery services, cosmetic and plastic surgery services, not qualify as a input tax credit. Life insurance services, health insurance services, not qualify for ITC. Got the clarity, my dear? So, these and all disqualified to claim ITC. Furthermore, I am explaining here the points after this particular food and beverages, outdoor catering, beauty treatment, health insurance, cosmetic, plastic surgery services, life insurance, health insurance, not qualify for ITC. Apart from that, very important, you are aware of that motor vehicles carrying capacity not exceeding 13 members, vessels, aircraft, these are we received on rental basis or hire basis, leasing, where we paid rental charges along with the GST. That is not an input service for us. One simple example, my dear. Assume a scenario. Look here. Assume a scenario. Look here. Here, Rafi Academy purchased, for example, Rafi Academy RA purchased motor vehicle seating capacity not exceeding 13 numbers. You tell me, for Rafi Academy, this particular motor vehicle, for example, this motor vehicle qualify for ITC? No. Fine. So here ITC not allowed on such vehicle. Is it clear? Now Rafi Academy, what they will do? Instead of buying that vehicle, they will take on rental basis, no? On hire basis, where they are paying the rental charges, where they are paying hire charges, where they are paying lease rentals. In such case, such a rent input service to qualify for ITC. That is what here saying, absolutely not allowed ITC. Got the clarity what I am saying, my dear? So, referring further here referring to you with some clarity. Now, Rafi Academy received such motor vehicle on rent. Such a rent not qualify for input tax credit. On the rent GST paid by Rafi Academy, not eligible to claim ITC. So here ITC on rent, otherwise I can say that GST paid on such rent. I will say that here GST paid on such rent. I will say here GST paid on such rent ITC not allowed. There is a block credit under section 17 subsection 5 clause B. That is what I am trying to say to you. Got the clarity, my dear? So, these items, if you refer on the screen, these items, motor vehicles, vessel, aircraft, which is not capital goods. If so, if they taken such capital goods on rental, lease or hire, where they paid their rental charges, hire charges, not qualify for ITC as input services. Got the clarity, my dear? Further, these items further I am presenting here. If you refer the theory here, they said, the theory part if you refer here is very clearly stated that I refer to you from here to here, up to this I refer to you, and further I am referring here, provided that input tax credit in respect of such goods or services or both shall be available. For whom available? Where an inward supply of such goods or services or both is used by a registered person for making an outward taxable supply of the same category of goods or services or both, or as an element of taxable composite supply or mixed supply. These are the points which has merit to understand. If these and all are used as these outward taxable supply of the same category of goods or services or both, or it is an element of taxable composite or taxable mixed supply, then ITC allowed. How to understand these points? Again presenting here for your kind consideration, my dear sir. If you refer here, these are all the points again I am referring to you. Now look on the screen here one by one. ITC not allowed cases. Food and beverages are allowed, ITC not allowed. However, if I am a provider of food and beverage services where I receive the input services from others who also be in the food and beverage services, such food and beverage services well allowed as ITC for supplier of food and beverage services. Very simple, my dear. Looking forward here with one example. See here, I am presenting with simple example. Let us say, Anna Catering Services provided food and beverages to Infosys. Further, Amma Caterings supplied food and beverages to Anna Caterers. Look on the screen. In such case, my dear sir, what happened here? If you refer here, Amma Caterers outward supply of food and beverages well qualified for ITC to Anna Catering Services. Reason? Similar line of business. In all these cases, food and beverages, outdoor catering services, beauty treatment services, health services, plastic surgery services, cosmetic plastic services, life insurance services, health services, or otherwise hiring, leasing, renting of vehicle, vessel, aircraft are considered. This and all, if you are providing the similar nature of services, by getting similar nature of services as input services, then that is qualified as input services, allowed as ITC. So I will write here by saying that ITC allowed to Anna Caterers. Anna Caterings. However, my dear sir, ITC not allowed. ITC not allowed to whom? Not allowed to Infosys company. Reason? Food and beverages not qualified for ITC. Outdoor catering not qualified for ITC. In that category, Infosys company is not providing food and beverage services or outdoor catering services. Hence, Infosys company not eligible to claim ITC. Got the clarity? Any difficulty, my dear sir, in the given case? Further, referring to here, if it is an element of taxable, composite or mixed supply, qualify for ITC. How to understand this? I will explain to you furthermore. I am explaining here. So, beauty treatment as such qualify for ITC? No, this is what I recorded on the screen also. Beauty treatment as such not qualify for ITC. However, if it is an element of taxable composite supply or an element of taxable mixed supply, then ITC well allowed. How to understand this? With one illustrative example I am presenting here as follows. Now listen, sir. One example here for your kind consideration. Sir, let us say Sri Krishna Star Hotel providing short-term accommodation services. Rent per day, per room, per day, per room, rupees, let us say 2,900. Now, what facility they are providing? Rent includes beauty treatment. Whoever come and stay in their hotel early morning, beauty treatment, facial free. Before you go to your workplace, from the room, hotel wala providing beautification of your face services, beauty treatment services by getting from others. Now, you tell me, there are two supplies. One is called as beauty treatment, other one short-term accommodation services. Now you tell me, my dear sir, is it composite supply? Yes. Principal supply? Short-term accommodation services, as you are aware of that already. Under section 8 of the CGST, we are very much aware of the composite supply and mixed supply. In the case of composite supply, the principal supply is short-term accommodation services. Short-term accommodation service provided by hotel wala by getting from others beauty treatment services, which is an element of taxable output supply of service. Therefore, in that case, Sri Krishna Star Hotel is eligible to claim ITC and beauty treatment services? Yes, allowed. That is what the lawmaker said here. I will refer here. ITC allowed. ITC allowed on beauty treatment. On beauty treatment. To whom? To Sri Krishna. Got the clarity? You want one more example also? I'll tell you, don't worry at all. Sri Krishna also providing rent-a-cab services by pick up and drop customers. Now 2,900 per day per room short-term accommodation also includes pick up and drop freely from airport to hotel, hotel to airport. In such case, the rent paid on such motor vehicle with the GST well qualified for ITC. Got the clarity, my dear sir? As simple as that, my dear. Sri Krishna wala getting from others rent-a-cab services and providing to their customers who wanted to book their hotels. Hotel room fees includes the beauty treatment as well as pick up and drop from airport to hotel, hotel to airport. For example, I am telling you, in such case, the GST paid on such rent also qualify for ITC because it's a composite supply. Its principal supply is still short-term accommodation, which is taxable supply. Got the clarity, sir? Any difficulty, my dear sir, up to this? Further, referring to you. Now, please come back. Further referring to you here. I refer to you here membership of a club, health and fitness services. Point number 2, membership of a club or membership of fitness, health and fitness services also not qualify for ITC. Membership of a club or membership of a health and fitness services not qualify for ITC as such. How to understand? Furthermore, travel benefits extended to employees on vacation, such as leave travel home concession, leave or home travel concession. Travel benefits generally given by employer to the employees by booking the various flight tickets or booking the railway tickets and other facilities and paying the GST thereon. Also not qualify for ITC. So, membership of a club, membership of a health and fitness services, or travel benefits extend to employees on leave or home travel concession as follows. Look here. On the screen. Let us say membership of Mahindra Club. For example, fees paid by employer for employee, not qualify for ITC. Not only employer to employee, but also employer himself taken the membership in the name of his business, also not qualify for ITC. Example, Rafi Academy taxable person at GST and taken the membership of Gymkhana Club. Mr. Rafi taken that membership in the name of Rafi Academy. Rafi Academy paid the membership fees along with the GST. That GST not qualify for ITC for Rafi Academy. Yes. Further, health and fitness services also be not qualify for ITC. Membership of club, membership of health and fitness, gym membership also be not qualify for ITC. Further, leave travel home concession. If you refer here, the leave or home travel concession is also be not qualify for ITC. ITC not allowed. If employer offer this to his employees, ITC not allowed. However, there is an exception here. In all these cases, one exception is there. Furthermore, a allowable exception. That means ITC allowed cases. What are the cases means? Food and beverages, outdoor catering services, beauty treatment services, the health services, plastic surgery services, cosmetic plastic surgery services, life insurance services, health insurance services, renting of motor vehicle, vessel, aircraft services, membership of a club services, membership of a health and fitness services, or the fees paid for leave travel concession, as the case may be. This and all, in general, ITC not allowed. In all cases, ITC well allowed with one exception. What is that exception means? As follows. If you refer here, the last one, but not the least, very important to note here. Provided that the input tax credit in respect of such goods or services or both shall be available where it is obligatory. Important to note, where it is obligatory for an employer. If it is obligatory for an employer to provide the same to its employees, and the law for the time being is enforced to provide such services, then one can avail the ITC. Infosys company provide the food and beverage services to their employees, which is must as per the instructions of the state government of, let us say, Karnataka. Government of Karnataka issued order, GO, government order. For example, only I am telling you, Infosys company, you should provide to your employees food and beverages, must. Then Infosys company eligible to claim ITC. Got the clarity, my dear sir? Further, leave travel concession is must then ITC can avail. For example, all education institutions, including private education institutions like Rafi Academy, should provide rent-a-cap services to their employees. Then Rafi Academy paid the rent for the cab eligible to claim ITC. Yes. Now you tell me, if Rafi Academy provided services where State Government of Tamil Nadu made it clear by government order, all education institutions, including private institutions like Rafi Academy, should provide rent-a-cap services to their employees. Government order issued. Is clear? Huh? Now, Rafi Academy providing rent-a-cap services to their students. Pick up and drop. Pick up from their house, drop at classroom, and pick up at classroom, drop at respective houses of my beloved students. If so, rent paid for such rent-a-cap services, eligible to claim ITC? Huh? Eligible to claim ITC? Tell me please. Absolutely not, my dear sir. Not eligible to claim ITC because students are not the employees of Rafi Academy. Got the clarity? Government order is employer should provide to employee. Students are employees of Rafi Academy? Absolutely not. Therefore, rent-a-cap services for the students not eligible to claim ITC. Got the clarity, my dear? It is as simple as that, my dear. So, entire story which is on the screen now, I will simply jot down with particular line here. Entire story is completed. Entire story is now completed. This entire area we come across by discussing. This entire area we completed. For your kind consideration. Got the clarity? Section 17, subsection 5, clause C. Very important area which I am referring here. Works contract service. Works contract service also is blocked credit. Credit not allowed if I received, being a taxable person, from other person works contract service, where there is a labor and material both are involved cases. Works contract in relation to immovable property not qualify for ITC other than plant and machinery. How to understand this? Read the content, thereby you can able to have the clarity on this. Works contract service when used, when supplied for construction of an immovable property. Works contract services used for construction of an immovable property other than plant and machinery except where it is an input service for further supply of works contract service. Works contract service in relation to construction of immovable property other than plant and machinery not qualify for ITC. However, if it is used by supplier of works contract, for him works contract input service qualify for ITC. How to understand this? With the help of illustrative example on the screen is as follows for your kind consideration, my dear sir. Let us understand what is works contract as defined under section 2 subsection 119 of the CGST Act. Works contract means a contract for building, construction, fabrication, completion, erection, installation, fitting out, improvement, modification, repair, maintenance, renovation, alteration or commissioning of any immovable property wherein transfer of property in goods, whether as goods or in some other form, is involved in execution of such contract, is general meaning, the definition given by the lawmaker. What do you mean by was contract? But was contract in relation to construction of an immovable property. That is what block credit. Further, how to understand here means, when we refer section 17, subsection 5, clause C, was contract other than plant and machinery. That means to say that if was contract in relation to plant and machinery, I am eligible to claim ITC. How to understand this? What do you mean by plant and machinery? Let us see. The definition or the explanation for the plant and machinery given under the section 17, subsection 5 series are as follows. Plant and machinery means, the expression plant and machinery means apparatus, equipment and machinery fixed to earth by foundation or structural support that are used for making outward supply of goods or services, or both, and includes such foundation and structural support but excludes land and building or any other civil structure, telecommunication towers and pipelines laid outside the factory premises, not considered as a plant and machinery. Meaning thereby, was contract in relation to land and building, was contract in relation to telecommunication towers, was contract in relation to laying the pipeline outside the factory premises, absolutely not qualify for ITC because it is not come under the term of plant and machinery. Don't worry, I will explain to you with the help of example now. My dear sir, how this entire story should be understood. Section 17, subsection 5, clause C was contract in relation to immovable property. Construction of an immovable property other than plant and machinery, not input service. How to understand this? Example, now explain to you here as follows. Look on the screen. Assume I am the MD of A Limited. I own A Limited. I want to construct this particular property. Now you tell me, this property can be considered as a plant and machinery? No, because it's a construction, land and building. Therefore, not a plant and machinery. Fine. I want to construct this factory, building, premises for my business purpose. I appointed you as was contractor. Assume your name is B Limited. I appointed you as a was contract to supply the was contract services to me. Now you tell me, brother, in the given case, A Limited can claim input tax credit of was contract which is in relation to construction of immovable property. Allowed? ITC allowed? Absolutely not. So A Limited not eligible to avail ITC. A Limited, being a manufacturer, is not eligible to avail GST on was contract service as ITC. Is it clear? Fine. Now, this was contractor B Limited to provide the was contract services in relation to construction of immovable property. Was contractor supplied to us material and labor. For the material which he procured from outside, B Limited procured the, let us say, cement by paying the GST. B Limited also procured steel, iron by paying the GST. Now, these input goods on which GST qualify for ITC to B Limited? Yes, absolutely allowed to B Limited, because B Limited using their input goods to provide taxable output supply, well eligible to claim ITC. But B Limited output supply, namely was contract, not input service for A Limited, since it is a block credit. Got the clarity, my dear sir? Any difficulty in the given case, my dear? Further referring to you from here is as follows. So, I am referring here B Limited, not B Limited is eligible to claim ITC on the input goods. GST paid on cement, steel and iron is allowed as ITC to B Limited. To B Limited. Got the clarity, my dear sir? Any difficulty, my dear friends? Further. Continuation here. I said to you, if was contract service used by me in relation to plant and machinery, then such a was contract for me qualify for ITC, since it is not construction of immovable property. Got the clarity? I am explaining now this as follows. Look on the screen. I wanted to construct in my factory premises this foundation layer. This foundation layer I want to construct. Reason, I want to install on that particular construction of foundation my plant and machinery. Thereby I can fix with the bolts and nuts the machinery on this foundation structure to prevent vibration in it, for which I appointed you to construct this foundation structure for my plant and machinery installation purpose. So, further referring here, my plant and machinery is this. This I want to install on the foundation structure which I given contract to you as contract to construct. Now you constructed for me the foundation structure. On that foundation structure I install my hot mix plant. Look on the screen, I properly installed. Now here only you have to understand, my dear sir, in the given case you provided this particular construction to me, construction in relation to foundation structure. This foundation structure, what you provided to me by way of was contract service, it is to lay down my plant and machinery. My plant and machinery is this. If so, your was contract service to me eligible to claim ITC. Got the clarity, sir? Was contract service in relation to construction of immovable property not qualify for ITC. However, was contract service in relation to plant and machinery eligible to claim ITC. What is not plant and machinery means construction of a civil structure or complexes, laying the telecommunication towers or laying the pipeline outside the premises of the factory. That is not called, that is not plant and machinery. Therefore, was contract in relation to plant and machinery qualify for ITC. This is the best example for a kind consideration. Got the clarity, my dear sir? Further, I said to you, if I am a was contractor, I provide the taxable output services and I received from somebody else the was contract input services, can I claim ITC? Yes. A was contract service provider can avail the ITC from another input service who provide the was contract service to him. Well allowed. How to understand this? With the visualization is as follows. Now look on the screen. A Limited, I am MD of A Limited, appointed you as my was contract service provider. Your name is B Limited. So you are providing was contract service to me for construction of my factory premises. Your output services not qualify for me as input service. Is it clear, sir? Is a bracket under section 17, subsection 5, clause C. You are aware of this. Now the point here is, this point can be read here as follows. A Limited, being a manufacturer, is not eligible to avail GST on work contract service as ITC. This point you are very much aware of that. Is clear? Now, B Limited, being you, while providing output services to me, you received input services from another work contractor. So, C Limited, being a subcontractor who provides the work contract services to B Limited. In this case, output services of C Limited is a input services for B Limited eligible to claim ITC even though it is a work contract service, because it is a work contract service provided to another work contractor. That recipient of work contractor is eligible to claim ITC of the work contract service. That means, look here by reading. B Limited, I am referring this point. B Limited, being main contractor, received work contract service from a subcontractor by paying the GST which is allowed as ITC to the main contractor. In our given example, B Limited. Got the clarity, my dear sir? Any difficulty in the given case to understand? So, with this, section 17, subsection 5, clause C, with regard to work contract service in relation to construction of an immovable property other than plant and machinery, is concluded. Further referring to you for your kind consideration. Further referring in our page number 70, section 17, subsection 5, clause D. Here, the Indians intelligence, how the department, the lawmaker is identified and well, careful manner prevented to claim ITC. Sir, I am A Limited. If I appointed you as my work contract service provider, that is disqualified from claiming ITC for construction of my immovable property? Yes. Now, what I am doing is, as A Limited MD, I have not given to you work contract service, but I given to you labor service. Only labor. And what I am doing here is, I am buying by my own source cement from somebody else, iron from somebody else, steel from somebody else, by paying the GST, and I am paying to you only labor charges, which is not a work contract service. Thereby, I can say that I have not received the work contract service, I received only labor service. Can I avail ITC? To prevent that particular activity, the government of India said, if you escape from 17.5C, 17.5D is there for you, carefully read. What is 17.5D says that here means goods or services are both received by a taxable person for consideration of an immovable property. See here also, for an immovable property other than plant and machinery on his own account, including such goods or services are both are used in the course or furtherance of business. So what? Being A Limited, I appointed a labor contract and I purchased cement by my own, steel by my own, and I constructed a particular my factory building which is in relation to immovable property of construction nature. Though that property I am using for my factory premises purpose, for the purpose of my business purpose. So what? The input services, labor services, the input goods, cement, steel, not qualify for ITC. How to understand this, my dear sir? This understandability only by way of diagrammatic presentation I am now going to explain to you is as follows. Now look here, my dear sir. I am being A Limited, MD of A Limited. I want to construct this immovable property. Here, I purchased by my own, directly from a supplier of the cement. Cement I purchased by paying the GST to them. I too purchase here the iron and steel. In addition to that, I too received from you labor services. So, I purchased by my own cement, I purchased by my own steel and this particular iron by payment of GST. And I appointed you only to carry out the labor activity. See, in your hands, there is no material, only the tools to work. So, in that given case, can I avail the ITC on all the three? Absolutely not. Section 17, subsection 5, clause D says that even though the person who is a taxable person received on his own account in relation to construction of a movable property, those input not qualify for ITC. Input services not qualify for ITC. Got the clarity, my dear sir? Reading as follows. A Limited, being a manufacturer, is not eligible to avail GST on goods and services received for construction of an immovable property on his own account, including when such goods or services or both are used in the course or furtherance of business. Even though if I say A Limited, this building I am using only for my taxable output supply. So what? ITC not allowed on the cement, steel, iron and labor. Whatever GST you paid, ITC not allowed because it is construction of an immovable property. That is the main reason, my dear sir. Got the clarity? With this, section 17, subsection 5, clause D is concluded. Further referring from here, section 17, subsection 5, clause E, with which you already familiarized, sir, already. If I am a composition levy assessee, am I eligible to claim ITC? ITC is not allowed to composition levy scheme assessee who is under section 10 of the CGST Act. As you are aware of the composition levy scheme, who will be a composition levy scheme assessee? Being a trader, a manufacturer, a restaurant whose turnover not exceeds 1.5 crores. They are eligible to opt composition scheme from 1st of April. If so, they are eligible to pay nominal, very, very lesser rate of GST. If a trader paying the GST at the rate of 0.5% CGST, you want to claim him the input tax credit? If you claim input tax credit by such assessee, he is not going to pay GST in his lifetime. Yes. How to understand this? Simple. A illustrative example on the screen, diagrammatic presentation make you understand is as follows. Now look on the screen, my dear sir. A trader who opted composition scheme, who is under section 10 of the CGST, he procured the goods by paying normal rate of GST. He procured the goods by paying normal rate of GST from other state. No problem. Interstate inward supply allowed. But this composition levy assessee should not make interstate outward supply. That you are aware of that. So he purchased interstate inward supply. Such interstate inward supply on which he paid the IGST at the rate of 18%, namely 18,000. Got the clarity? With that, he purchased the goods, and that goods locally he is selling, intrastate sales. He sells locally as follows. His outward supply 1.5 lakhs, namely 1,50,000. Then he will able to pay GST, being a trader on taxable output supply of goods, 0.5% CGST, 0.5% SGST, which comes hardly 750 rupees CGST, 750 rupees of SGST. Got the clarity in the given case? These two cases. 1,50,000 output supply of composition scheme, being a trader liable to pay only 0.5% of CGST, 0.5% of SGST. namely 750 CGST, 750 rupees SGST, they are liable to pay. While paying that particular 750 rupees CGST, 750 rupees of SGST, are they eligible to claim ITC? Absolutely not. That is what your section 17, subsection 5, clause E says. So here, GST paid on inward supply is not allowed as ITC to a composition levy scheme assessee. To a composition levy scheme assessee. If a composition scheme assessee, then he should forget his credit. He may purchase the goods by paying normal rate of GST, but credit not allowed. That will be some part of cost. That you are aware of that. Is clear, my dear sir? Further referring to you from here. Now referring to you, section 17, subsection 5, clause F. Goods or services are both received by a non-resident taxable person except on goods imported by him. A non-resident taxable person is he who comes from abroad to India to carry out the taxable activities in India. If so, he is liable to pay GST? Yes, liable to pay GST. Has to pay normal rate of GST? Has to pay normal rate of GST. Such a non-resident taxable person is not eligible to claim dash composition scheme, not eligible to claim further input tax credit except IGST paid on import of goods. How to understand this? With the help of diagrammatic presentation here as follows. Look on the screen. Non-resident taxable person who came from outside India. When he came to India, for example, he brought to India certain goods. Import of goods under the Customs Act, that particular non-resident taxable person paid IGST to Department of Customs. So he suffered the IGST. And locally, this particular non-resident taxable person also be procured the goods locally by paying the GST. Let us say he purchased the goods worth rupees 1 lakh by payment of CGST 9%, SGST 9%, namely 9,000. With that, this non-resident taxable person in India supplied the outward supply of rupees 1,50,000 worth of the goods. He has to pay normal rate of GST. While paying the GST, can the non-resident taxable person can avail the ITC? No. ITC not allowed. Very clear here. Look on the screen. ITC, GST paid on inward supply is not allowed as ITC. However, such a non-resident taxable person is eligible to claim ITC of IGST what he paid at the time of import of goods. He paid IGST to Department of Customs. That IGST, this non-resident taxable person is eligible to claim ITC. That alone can claim ITC. IGST paid on import of goods alone is allowed as ITC. Remaining any GST not qualify for ITC to non-resident taxable person. This is what section 17, section 5, clause F. Got the clarity, my dear sir? Further referring, section 17, subsection 5, clause G. Goods or services are used for personal consumption. That is very important. If you use for personal consumption, question of claiming of GST does not arise for you. If I purchase suppose I am running particular departmental store, groceries I am selling. When I am a registered person GST law, groceries what I purchase by payment of GST, I use for my house purpose. Then ITC allowed on that? Obviously not. How to understand furthermore? With the help of a diagrammatic presentation, look on the screen is as follows. Look here, my dear sir, please. Goods or services are both used for personal consumption. If so, that goods disqualified to claim ITC under section 17, subsection 5, clause G. How? Look here. Suppose I purchase, being a proprietor of Rafi Academy, I purchase, for example, the Asian paint. So much. Paint by paying the GST itself 1,20,000. This much of paint I purchased. What for? Using for my classroom, where I want to beautifully paint my classrooms. Therefore, I am a product of taxable output supply. I purchase the particular Asian paint to beautifully paint my classrooms. Using for business purpose, ITC allowed? ITC well allowed, no problem. Further, instead of using my business purpose, if I use this entire, the quantity of paint which I purchase in the name of Rafi Academy by payment of GST, entire paint I diluted to my residence to paint my bedroom, let us say. Beautifully I painted my bedroom here. See, bedroom is here. Beautifully I painted the bedroom. So if I paint the bedroom beautifully, it is my personal purpose or business purpose. So use it for personal consumption. The GST paid on particular paint, how much? 1,20,000 rupees GST. ITC allowed, my dear sir? Obviously not allowed. ITC not allowed is blocked creed under section 17, subsection 5, clause G. Got the clarity, my dear sir? Continuation. Section 17.5, clause H. Very important to note this, clause H. Goods lost, stolen, destroyed, written off in the books of accounts, are disposed of by way of gift or free sample. So, this and all going without cascading. I purchase the goods, let us say I purchase the raw material, I manufacture the medicine I distribute free of cost. In that case, ITC on that input goods not qualify for me credit. If my goods are written off in the books of accounts. Why written off in the books of accounts? Because that goods what I produce out of my input may be destroyed. Why destroyed? Refer here one simple example. Is as follows. Listen, my dear sir. Assume a scenario. There is a factory X Limited in Bangalore producing beautiful cars, colorful cars by using their raw material. Is clear, my dear sir? When they store this all particular goods, when they store in their factory after manufacture, one fine day what happened? Due to short circuit of the electricity, all the goods are got gutted in the file. It became husk or dust. All goods are got gutted in the fire, became husk or dust. Now tell me, I am going to sell this type of goods? Nobody will purchase this. I have to spend money to clean this area. In such case, inputs what I purchase to manufacture this type of husk or dust, can I have an ITC? Not allowed. So, that particular finished goods value I am writing off in my books of accounts. If so, question of claiming the GST on such input goods does not arise. Section 17, subsection 5, clause H. Got the clarity, my dear sir? Now come back to refer here in our page number 70, the content furthermore. Section 17, subsection 5, clause I. Clause I, last one. Any tax paid in accordance with the provisions of fraud, detention, seizure, and confiscation of the goods or conveyance, ITC not allowed. It is advanced concept CF final level because fraud, section 74 of the CGST, detention and seizure, section 129 of the CGST, the confiscation of the goods, section 130 of the CGST. It is CF final level, but you have to understand what is block credit here. I explained to you this particular last point with the help of illustrative example. Please kindly refer page number 73. Please refer page number 73. In that page number 73, the last layer, see the last layer. I am talking about this provision. Claim of ITC under section 41 of the CGST. Section 41 of the CGST says that self-assessment credit is qualified to claim as ITC while paying the self-assessment tax. Now, I brought your notice with some example for your kind consideration here. You will understand from this simple manner. Sir, assume a scenario, my dear sir. X Limited is a seller. He is a seller. He got input tax credit. Let us say 12,000 rupees credit he has with him. X Limited, 12,000 rupees credit. And output tax he is paying under self-assessment. How much? 18,000. Self-assessment credit while paying the self-assessment output tax, well allowed as ITC. See here, well allowed as ITC. Then the balance net liability to pay is clearer. Further, suppose if they not pay the GST under self-assessment, department issues a notice under section 73 of the CGST in the case other than fraud. But department issues a notice is called what? Assessment became reassessment. That means not a reassessment, not a assessment, not a self-assessment. Understand, my dear sir? Repeating again. Department send the notice under section 73. Hey, Mr. X Limited, we come across by verifying your returns, you have not paid the tax. Can you check it in your records? If not paid, please pay off. Then assessee woke up. Yes, sir, I really missed out this particular amount of GST liability to pay. I will pay now. That means it is not a self-assessment assessee paid by himself. Under the reassessment, he is going to pay the GST. Maybe other than the fraud, because section 73 notice. Since under the reassessment he is going to pay the GST, ITC on input goods, input services and capital goods not allowed. ITC not allowed. You see here, ITC not allowed. Further, if he is going to pay the GST under section 74 notice, means fraud. Hey, Mr. X Limited, you committed a fraud. Fraud means collusion, willful misstatement, suppression of fact, mens error, guilty mind, intention not to pay GST. Such a culprit person you are. You not paid the GST. We come across by our investigation. You please pay. Otherwise, we will take the action against you. Show the cause. Why should not we ask you to pay the GST, interest, penalties, that and this, like that? Section 74 issue the notice. Then the ex-member woke up and paying the GST. Is it self-assessment? No, it is a reassessment. Therefore, credit not allowed. Got the clarity, my dear? Credit not allowed. Likewise, if goods procured by Y Limited from X Limited, then Y Limited eligible to claim ITC on the input. Now, here, look here, seller Y Limited paying the GST under self-assessment or under section 73 as in the fraud. That means Y Limited going to pay the GST of his output supply under self-assessment or under 73, namely other than the fraud. In that case, can he claim ITC on input supply? Here, ITC on input supply allowed only for self-assessment if ITC Y Limited is going to be paid under 73 reassessment, not eligible. But what is there on the screen here means, who is a seller here? Here seller is none other than X Limited. X Limited only sold the goods. Seller means X Limited. Who sold the goods to Y Limited. And X Limited, who is liable to pay GST, he paid under self-assessment. If so, Y Limited can avail the ITC on input supply? Yes. At the same time, seller X Limited paid the GST under 73 other than fraud, which is not a bracket rate for buyer. Therefore, GST paid by seller X Limited under 73 is the input supply ITC allowed for Y Limited. That's why I mentioned here commonly ITC allowed. If the seller paid the GST under self-assessment or under section 73, that is the input supply for the buyer eligible to claim ITC. However, if the supplier X Limited paid the GST under section 74, and the buyer of that goods, namely Y Limited in our given example, Y Limited received that goods from X Limited and paid the GST to X Limited. X Limited paid the GST under 74 of the CGST. That is not an input supply for the recipient to claim ITC. Meaning thereby, section 17, subsection 5, clause I says that Mr. Buyer of the goods, if your supplier to you paid the GST to department under section 74, that GST for you being a buyer not eligible to claim ITC. That is what section 17 subsection 5 clause I says. Like that, if a supplier of the goods paid the GST under section 129, namely seizure and detention and seizure, then ITC not allowed for the buyer. If the supplier paid the GST under section 130, namely confiscation of the goods and which is released after payment of the taxes and penalties, in such cases, if the seller paid the GST under confiscation of the goods, that is not qualified for ITC to the buyer. Got the clarity? That is what I mentioned here very clearly to you. With this, section 17.5 fully, thoroughly concluded.